I'm going to start here. So you got to match my energy.
I'm ready to go, baby.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the Doom of Fools. Today we have the best cedh player on the planet, Zach Snack Dinner, whatever you want to call him. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's good, dude? So good to be on the show.
I told you.
Really hyped to be here.
Let's go, baby.
Love watching the podcast. I've had a lot of buddies on here, and I've been waiting for my turn. So,
how does it feel to be the best player in the world? Like,
I don't know if I would say that, but it is exciting to have won the Invitational. That was like an amazing tournament to be in, an amazing season to lead up to, and to have it end that way. Couldn't have asked for anything more. So that does feel great. But I don't know if I would call myself the best player in the world by any stretch of the imagination.
hey, that's stats, baby. That's stats.
Yeah.
It's funny. Everybody's like, yeah. The Invitational was great, but they're like, this 20K. And I'm like, how the fuck do you have the 20K the same time as the Invitational?
I know. Well, it didn't help the quad Blue Farm pod, I'm sure, did not help people want to watch the Invitational either. Yeah.
We're going to talk about that a little later, not the breakdown, but I would love to talk about how the fuck you pull that out of your ass. 4 Blue Farms in the finals with the best yappers in the world, right? We'll get to that a little later, but first, foremost, welcome. How the fuck did you get into Magic, and then why did you get into cedh, and how, and all that good stuff?
Great question. Yeah, that's I've been doing a lot of coaching recently, and that's the question I like to ask people first and foremost. I think it's one of the most important bases of like understanding someone is understanding why they're enjoying this game. Like, why are they having so much fun playing? And the truth of the matter is, I absolutely love to play Magic. It has been probably the best hobby I've ever participated in, and now it's turning into more than that, and I'm just so thrilled to have that happen. But where it all started for me was in about, I think I want to say like 4th grade maybe. I went to the summer camp, and I started doing kitchen table Magic, 60 card. I played for like 2 to 3 months. Probably not even that, like barely any time, like just a little bit. I dipped my toe in the pool, and I went back to school, forgot it existed. And then college comes around, and in my senior year, I just gave up partying and drinking and got back into it with some freshman year roommates. Found all my cards, got nothing very expensive, sadly, but I got like my Phantasmal image, I remember. Okay. And started playing EDH. I did that for I want to say like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then I got into cedh probably about 2 years after that. And have been playing for about that much time. So, the cedh grind has been amazing. It's been something that started in kind of like COVID-ish era, a little after COVID. And it was a lot of online tournaments. That's where a lot of my cedh was played. I was living in the middle of Oregon, nobody around to play with. And I ended up just doing the Mox Masters tournament, and doing the Chaos tournaments. My like very few early cedh was on like Jetmir. I did some Naya win-conless stacks.
Cool.
That was a fun time.
Good times. Fuck you, Bowmaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, way before Bowmaster. But Jetmir probably gets hosed by Bowmaster now. I don't even know.
And Winota, yeah.
Yeah.
Orcus just pulls out his little arrow dick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate that stupid creature.
But yeah, transitioned into doing some more Esper stuff. Played Tivit, played Malcolm Kedis, and then eventually I got to Blue Farm in the early online days. My first tournament result was a top 4 in like a Mox Masters or a Chaos tournament on Blue Farm. And then slowly I kind of did a little more of that, but I kind of stopped playing for a bit when I moved to California. And in that period, I took a break, and then I got back into it. Started playing at the People with Rockets last season, before this invitational season. I got in probably like halfway through that. And then I just started jamming tournaments all the time, and really getting a great community of people that I got to play with on the regular. And after finding all these people that wanted to play and enjoyed playing, and wanted to do more than just show up on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, but they wanted to talk and chat and like go to tournaments together. That's when I really bought in. And so end of last season bridged into the beginning of this season, and I just made it a priority that I was going to play Magic every week, and that I was going to work towards getting to qualify for the Invitational and being as prepared as I could be to get there and to play. So that's kind of a little bit of the background of how I got into Magic and then cedh after that. Yeah.
So you're like, you're an old head and you're a new head. Okay.
Exactly.
I got you.
Yeah.
So what, I got to ask, not your age, but what set? Do you remember the set in 4th grade, your first set?
Absolutely not.
Come on.
No idea, dude.
Everybody remembers the first set.
I was getting cards from like freaking people's moms would be like dropping off packs of cards and distributing them out to the kids like at random.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have no clue what. The only card I remember playing with was Phantasmal Image, so it was definitely after that card dropped. No idea when that was.
2005-ish, maybe.
Yeah,
all right.
This was probably like 2008, maybe 2000.
Okay.
No idea, dog. Honestly, no idea. I wish I did. I wish I knew.
It's all good. It'll come to you. So I kind of want to talk about, like, obviously, like, I like when I get certain people on because then I want to talk about that. Like, the elephant in the room is you won with Blue Farm.
I did.
Right?
I did.
Blue Farm's the best deck.
Yeah.
But what I love about you is our first conversation, I was like, hey, man, I'm on record saying Blue Farm sucks and boring. And you're like, me too.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
I know. I can't believe I fucking hate this deck. It's so boring.
Yeah.
I want to play Rock Thrust, right? So I kind of want to talk to you about, that's kind of this, I don't know, stigma's not the word, but we're kind of talking about a pre-show of, there's kind of something in the air where about 3-4 weeks ago, I posted a Mardu pod with Bad Dog and Hebrew Hercules and the Croach, and Bad Dog was talking about, hey, there's going to be a point where we're going to have these 20, 50, 100Ks, and these stack battles are going to be so crazy, we're going to have to start lying to actually get wins, right? Because me personally, I wouldn't lie. Right, I'm not gonna go against my morals. I'm not gonna lie to win. I'm not gonna whatever. But then you put $50,000 in front of me, so I don't know. Like, I don't know that question. Right, you got to think, if you're in a 50K, that final four, the winner's getting. I assume they're all splitting, but you know what I mean. Like in a top 16 game, when there's $20,000-$30,000 on the line in a couple years, like I can see what he was saying, where it's like, okay, he's a liar. He just won 20 grand. Call me a liar. I'm going to cry to the bank, right? I'm going to cry with my $100 bills.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get to that point. So let's kind of peel back the curtain a little bit. So obviously Blue Farm felt good. I just want to talk about your finals just a little bit of 4 Blue Farms. What is your mindset going into that, and how the fuck did you pull out? Like, what made you better than them? Was it your politics? Was it your this? Was it your draws? Were you fast? Were you slow? I want to peel the curtain back a little bit.
Sure. Before we do, I do want to touch on what you and Jacob were talking about, which is if we get to the point where we have these massive tournaments with massive payouts, are people just going to start lying, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. That's a great question. In my perspective, as soon as you lie, especially on camera, especially if you admit it, you sort of lose your reputation as someone that can be trusted ever again. So, these huge tournaments, like let's say there's a 50K and there's, 15 to 20 grand on the line. You could lie and you could win that game. Then the next tournament you go to, you will never be trusted again. You don't get to play the game of cedh anymore in any real capacity because people won't trust you to uphold your deals. Also, I just think there's a lot of other ways that you could make money, and at least now, I don't think anyone is in this for the money. It's not there yet.
It's getting there.
It is.
The fish bowls this weekend.
Yeah.
It's 20K. That's
but to
the
me,
second 20K this year, right?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Next year, I heard there might be a 50K in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking? We're talking from COVID pretty much to now. In 5 years, we're having 20Ks regularly. What's going to happen in another 5 years, right?
Agreed. Totally
like, I'm trying to host tournaments, and I'm, like, doing 1Ks, and I'm trying to do 5Ks, and I'm asking my friends from, like, up north, grinders like you, like, hey, how much will it cost? He's like, If it was 2 years ago, I'd come down for a 5K. Now I might come down for a 10K. I'm like, fuck. You know how hard it is to throw a 10K? Yeah. But that's how it's going to be. If there's a 10K every weekend, why on earth would I go Central Florida, right?
Yep.
But anyways,
and we're going to have to innovate. Like, tournament organizers and LGSs will have to innovate around this and figure out models that aren't going to charge their players, like, exorbitant entry fees to make them possible. I hope.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah. Anyway, the final point on this is I play cedh to play cedh and to keep playing cedh. I don't play cedh to win a game. In that way, my philosophy around lying is the whole point of me doing this is so that I can play more games and enjoy a reputation that people can trust. Especially doing coaching and content. Like, my word is my bond. And so I don't think there's any amount of money that would make me lie in a game, just because it's not my goal. The goal is not to win a game or to win a tournament. It's a little more long term than that.
Okay, well, let's talk about that just a little bit.
Sure.
I agree 100%. Like I was telling my friend, I have 2,600 subscribers. It's not shit, right?
Yeah.
But I do have a name, a little name in the format. So when I throw tournaments, and I let the shop be the TO so I can play in the tournaments, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the same way, and also I would never lie. I completely agree with you. But there's one thing we could disagree on is, besides lying and going against my morals, right? I'm not going to suck dick to win, right? Obviously. I might, whatever. Besides the moral, yeah, right. Besides the morals, there's not a lot I wouldn't do because I am here to win. So let's talk about that. You said I'm not here when I'm here to play. Playing is my favorite thing to do. That's why I play in them. I don't TO. I love playing in them. But I don't care about your pregame conversation about your grandma dying and what happened to your last game. I'm trying to mulligan for this game. I'm here to cut your throat. I'm here to win games. But at the end of the day, I will not lie or cheat to do it. So where's that fine line when there's $50,000 on the line? Like, biggest example for me, I know you don't care, but side tangent, comedian.
Sure.
Obviously one of the best players, whatever.
Yeah.
We played in a redemption event 2 years ago, and I met him for the first time. I'm like, dude, you're so fucking cool. Let's take a picture. Everything's cool. He's like, oh, I like your deck. Tevis Crom's really cool. I'm like, oh my God, thank you, fanboy out, right? That's over with. We go to start the game, and I saw a fucking switch. I played with him, and I think Pigeon, well, another really, really good player. And it was like a switch, like we didn't even have a conversation.
Yep.
And the second I was like, am I cool with this breach? Yeah, good game. Hey, man, yeah, let me look at the deck list. It was like a whole different person, right? So is that kind of what you do? Is that what the Invitational felt like? But you're like, I'm just here to have fun and play games, but also we're here to win. So what's that fine line?
That's a great question. And it's an interesting thought experiment. I generally like to... I'm just me. Like, I joke around a lot in games. Like, I'm, chatting and chit-chatting. That's how I am, normally. That's how I am in my content. That's how I am in my coaching. Like, I don't have a lot of false fronts. Not saying that he does or, it's wrong or right to do it that way. There are situations when you get to, like, I'm really jamming. I'm trying to win the game, and you're not as chatty. You're not as fun. And that's when you're focused. You're zeroed in on your action and your game plan. Yeah. At the end of the day, with the Invitational, I just felt so locked in. I've never been that locked in a game of Magic. I had nothing else going on in my head. I was just zoned in. I was focused on the game. I didn't get distracted. And the pressure just kind of was not there. I didn't feel like, oh, this is, the biggest game of my life, which in retrospect, probably it was, up to this point.
You guys split, right? The top four pricing?
We did.
So after you split and then you play, all that's got to go out the window, right? This is just for bragging rights?
Well, it is. It's on stream, too. So it's like everyone is going to watch this game. Everyone's going to hear me talk. Like, I want to play the most, honorable game I can. I want to represent myself well. And I think there was a moment in the game where it was like, there was like a discussion about, Andy's like, oh, if this silence resolves that I had cast, like, you're not going to push. And I was like, yeah, I will not push. And the silence resolves, we got to pass. And I put a flood caller on the stack, and he's like, oh, you're not, I thought you said you weren't going to push. And I'm like, this is not a push. I'm just putting this into play so that I have it to be able to tutor something to deal with with Corwin's flood caller. And he's like, well, I thought you said you're not going to cast any spells. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I said I'm not going to push. I didn't say I'm not going to cast any spells. But if that's what you believe to be true, I'm not going to break the nature of this deal just because I think the letter of the deal was different. And, you know, that could be correct or incorrect, but that's how I wanted to play that game, is honorably, and I didn't want people to feel like I had gotten them, you know, like a gotcha. That's not how I want to play Magic at all. And I don't think that that's how I want to win games of Magic. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to win the game. That's why we're all playing cedh. You know, we're not playing casually. We're not playing, you know, frickin' Uno. It's playing to win. It's playing together in a community setting. Yeah. But I think the line is an internal compass, and it's about a set of morals that you have. And for some people, that doesn't include lying. Some people are like, I'm going to win this game no matter what. No holds barred. cedh is about full power, doing whatever the fuck you can to win. And if that means that they are okay with them lying, then that's totally up to them. I am not judging them based on that. It's just information I want to take into those games, that I know that this person's moral compass is going to allow them to lie and be totally fine with it. So when I play them again, I have that knowledge. And I'm
maybe not lying. I think that fine line of like going back on a deal, is that lying? Or like what you just said, how you're like, hey, I'll take Valley Flood Caller back, where it's like going. That's what I really want to talk about is off air Valley Flood Caller back, where it's like going. I'm next in turn order. I know I have a voice of victory, but I'm gonna pass the turn line of he didn't lie, but it was definitely a little. Little shady. Like, where's that? Like, would you ever do that? Is that something you wouldn't like want to do? You wouldn't recommend? Is that, how do you think that is? Deception, I guess.
Yeah. It's a gray area, honestly. Like, there's, I don't think I would want to make that play. But at the end of the day, if it comes down to it and they word the deal very ambiguously, like, you're going to pass the turn. I put a lot of caveats in my deals. I'm like, you are not making infinite mana. You are not, you know, winning it instant.
You'll smell that shit. Turn. Smells like bullshit. Bullshit.
Because I've been got. The bullshit alarm goes off.
Bullshit. Yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I'm very careful with how I word my deals. And I've gotten got before. You know, if people have been like, oh, gotcha. You know, I didn't win on my turn. I final fortune. Haha. That's not how I really want to win games. I don't feel like that is in line with my ultimate goal of being able to play cedh the best I can at the best of my abilities. Because then it just feels, I don't know, for me personally, it feels a little scummy to do that. And I would not feel good about winning that way. Other people maybe don't have those sort of moral contradictions or bypasses in themselves, and so they're going to say, I won't do that, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying my brother's scummy for doing it or whatever, but like, say there's $30,000 on the line. I'm okay with accepting I'm not a liar or a cheater. But if some person thinks that was a scummy deal and I have $30,000 in my bank account for it, like, I feel like people that are going to be okay with that. And they're going to feel like they have to do that to win if they keep printing stupid silence effects and blue counter spells and Orcish Bowmasters that for some reason is busted, right? That's where I'm getting at. It is a gray area. And where is the line? How do we draw that line? Because there isn't anything like Commander in Magic, right? A lot of people are like, oh, 60 card does this, and they don't do that, and they don't lie, and that's why people don't like cedh, and we have a bad name. I'm like, it's literally a casual format that us Spikes made competitive, and now we're like, oh, there's no rules for us, whatever. So, two things I want to touch on. I think, personally, the only way we're going to see real change is what they're doing with the ban list. If Wizards takes over and goes, hey, we're taking over, cedh is a format, you can't do this, and this. Also, no more proxies because it's a Wizard format, right? So I feel like that's going to hurt the format more than it's going to be better, but I think that's the only thing I can think that would fix this problem that we're really going to have in 3 to 5 years. Do you think there's any way right now we could fix that?
When you say that problem, can you be a little more specific about
the problem of people are lying? Like 4 or 5 people did it in the last week's tournament or 2 weeks ago, which is funny. I watched Ian's video and he said not a lot of them got to the top 16 anyways, right? Yeah. But just the moral compass thing of there's players like me and you where we'll never lie, won't make a scummy deal, blah, 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 blah. But it's already here and it's going to get worse of, oh, I didn't lie. I just went around my words and I said I wasn't going to win, but I'm going to win on your turn, blah, 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 right? So before Wizards takes over, like the ban thing, because exactly what happened, right? So do you think, is there a fix is what I'm trying to ask you? Is there any way, because me and you are on the same page, but not everybody thinks like me and you, right? And when there's $30,000 on the line, a guy that's in California that isn't a grinder like you doesn't give a fuck if you think he's scummy or not. He's going to have $30,000 in his pocket. Is there a way to prevent that? Is there implications or rules in place or anything we could do right now to stop that?
Yeah, I think that it's a social contract. Lying and angle shooting and making deals are not actually part of Magic, like the game, the format. cedh is oftentimes, like, judges will say, like, you know, you should not trust your opponents. They don't have your best interest in mind, right? Like, that's something people say, judges will say at the beginning of most tournaments. So I don't see a Wizards ban or like a card difference necessarily helping out with the lying or the angle shooting problem. When it comes to this gray area of like, oh, you lied, or oh, you misrepresented the truth, there's games that I've done that and I felt bad after, or I didn't even know I was doing it, and someone pointed out to me and they were like, hey, when you said that, like, I thought this is what you meant. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea that that's what you thought I meant. I would not have agreed to the deal had you, clarified that, right?
Yeah. And there's
so
a breach
that's a
on the
learning
stack.
process. Yeah, it's a learning process for me. I'm not perfect by any means. I've fucked up in games. I've been, I've walked away with a bad taste in my mouth. And the goal for me is not to be perfect. It's just to work on how I approach these deals and try to be closer to who I believe I want to be in this game, which is playing with honor. But in terms of fixing this, it's something that we need to keep having conversations about. Like these sorts of conversations, conversations in person, conversations on Discord or, even on Twitter, for however terrible that platform is and can be. But the more we talk about it and we're like, hey, I don't like when this happens in game. I think Critical EDH did an episode about this where they talked about the cookout because there was a lot of lying there. And there's conversation and discourse that emerges from that. And that allows for people to be like, this is something we as a group think makes sense in the game.
Yeah.
If you play this way, it's not going to be looked well upon. Or it comes to even stuff like, do you have interaction, yes or no? And if I say no, am I lying to you, or am I bluffing, right? Or do I have interaction that I don't want to tell you about? It's like I said, a very nuanced conversation.
So we got to put a face on it as a community. We got to make it a thing that we don't want to happen. And if it happens, we need to put a face on it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, please don't do this, whatever name we want to call it. So kind of what you said earlier, I think it was pre-show where I was talking about my friend has a silence. On every upkeep, are you pushing? Are you winning? Are you winning? I'm going to cast it. Are you winning? You're not winning. He was like, I don't want to say this every fucking upkeep. I don't want to hold this Ranger Captain as someone's forehead. What if somebody just wants to put a win on the stack and now he has to take it off or King makes the next guy, right? The draw meta. How the hell did we get out of this draw meta? You just did the Invitational. It was a draw meta, dog. Like, how do we get out of that? Like, okay, cool. Gray area. We're all cool. We're not scummy, but we still need a winner, right? Mm-hmm. How did you get from under that game in the Final Four? How did you end up getting there? Like, was a certain deal? I heard there's like a Fairy Mastermind deal. Was there something like with the Wheel of Fortune or something?
Yeah, so the Fairy Mastermind thing is a super funny thing that everyone is so confused as to how it happened. But essentially, the situation was I had mulled to 3 that game. So I felt like, fuck, I've lost this game.
Oh, shit.
Before it even started.
Yeah.
And so everyone develops well. Corwin and Sterling both have turn 1 Esper Sentinels. I think Sterling has an Esper and a Mockingbird, so 2 Esper Sentinels. And then Andy end step on turn 1 casts a Bowmaster, takes out an Esper Sentinel. And he's able to go to his turn, have Timna start swinging in, basically. At this point, I'm like, hey, guys, like, there's a world where we have to block the Bowmaster token with your Espers so that he's not able to just draw cards with Timna and run away with the game. And they're like, I don't know, I don't really want to do that. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. But just know, like, he's accelerating at a pace that none of us are keeping up with. He'll just win the game pretty soon.
Yeah, right. And that's basic politics. That's not angle shooting or anything. Yeah.
Making suggestions, basically, trying to give my point of view in a way that they can understand it from how I see it. The next turn cycle, we get to a point where I have access to mana to either cast, I think, a Delny or a Fairy Mastermind, and I decide to hold the Fairy Mastermind back because I can either block with it if Andy swings something at me, or I can, draw some cards and try and get back in the game. So Andy goes to combat, he swings, and I flash in the Fairy Mastermind. And he essentially, I'm like, hey guys, I will block with this Fairy Mastermind if you guys block with your Esper Sentinels. And that way we can take him down a peg so he's not just running away with the game. And he counter offers me. Andy says, how about this? I am going to, you let me in, because he has a face breaker at this point too. So he's making treasures, he's drawing cards, like it's bad. And he's like, negative Ghost Rider. Do not let this happen.
I love NATO, man, but it's like that guy is a crazy.
He's brilliant.
Yeah,
I would say he's probably the best player in the game. Like he was number one all year by
he's definitely
fucking huge margin.
He's top 3
on
for
the
sure.
Leaderboard. Yeah. And he basically makes the deal with me. He's like, hey, let me get in for this 1 damage. Your fairy is gonna trigger. You'll draw a card. I will kill my own Orcish Bowmaster. And that way you don't have to worry about the Bowmaster. I can still get a little bit of advantage here. And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's a deal. Yeah.
And so they both block with their Esper Sentinels. He gets, I think, in just on me. And he draws a card, my fairy triggers. I draw a card, he shoots his own Bowmaster. And so it's the best of all worlds where he's not getting a ton of advantage. Well, because he wanted to continue advantage. I was gonna kill the Bowmaster with my fairy anyway. So he's like, I get a treasure and another card draw out of this.
I see. Okay, yeah, he's way smarter than me.
I think this is the situation. I could be wrong. It's been a little while. But it was a whole thing. But to circle back to the question, like, how do we get out of the draw meta, right?
Oh yeah. I was asking how you won that game, but yeah.
That game was a grind fest. I mean, we grinded for a long time, and then we got to the point where time was getting close. I was in a situation. Yeah, I was in first seed. So if we do go to time, if the game draws like naturally, I win the game because I'm in first seed.
Yeah.
I did not want to win that way. I was committed to trying to win the game as much as I could, taking game actions, not stalling, like, pushing the pace of the game and winning the game.
Well, you should correctly. Be doing.
Yeah, exactly. But we get to the point where we are in my turn. I cast a Bowmaster, and Corwin has a Flood Caller and like 2 Rhystic Studies at this point, and he just decides now is the time to go. Huge stack war develops. Everyone uses all their interaction. I'm able to get off a Final Fortune at some point in this, and the stack resolves in a way that I'm able to cast a Voice of Victory, cast a Grand Abolisher, go to my Final Fortune turn and win with like 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock before regulation.
Wow.
Part of that is because the time was getting close and the stack was forced at that moment. But that game could have gone fucking 11 hours, Like, we can't have that happening either.
God, no. Shit, fuck no. Hell no.
Yeah.
I love that that's one thing the whole community.
Yeah, not that.
Thousands of players were like, yeah, fuck that. That's the only thing we've ever all agreed on. Like, you know what? Yeah, let's never do that again.
And ban Rhystic Study. That too.
Yeah. I actually do want to talk about that too later.
Yeah, of course. I think the bigger thing is I don't have the answers. I don't know how to stop the draw meta. I don't know how to stop lying and angle shooting. I don't know if we should ban Rhystic Study. I think we should. But that's okay. Me not having the answers. I have opinions, and I think us talking about this kind of stuff is going to generate more talk and more opinions and more ways to work on problems like this, and start developing like ideas for solutions.
Right?
It's like people are all worried about this, like, oh, this is gonna break the game, like, or people on Twitter like, oh, this is why I don't play cedh, and it's like, that's fine, but why not be a part of a solution to something like this? Like, that's so funny. These aren't ridiculous things. These are solvable problems.
Yeah. Well, your opinion is valid. That's why I'm asking you, because you're there, right? Like, I've never been in an invitational. I've never been in that. I have been in tournaments for a few years now, but that's why we're asking you. But like, the whole point, it's so funny is, we're 90%, 95% of the meta are players, and there's that 5-10% of brewers.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite for opinions. 95% of people have opinions, and only 5% of people have solutions. Yes. Like, that's why I bang my head against the table. They're like, ban Rhystic Study, ban Rhystic Study. Why? Because I don't like it. It draws cards. Well, why? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, I could give you 10 reasons why I ban Rhystic Study, because I can blah, 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 blah. Also, I can look in the mirror and be like, okay, if we ban Rhystic Study, what's going to happen? Is Blue Farm still the best deck? Yes. Like, blah, 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 blah. Right? Not just, we need to ban Rhystic Study because I don't like it. Right? Like, It has no downside. It's the only engine that doesn't have any downside. That's why Ristic Study's banned. Bowmaster should be banned because of stacks, blah, 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 blah. And then you start looking at other stuff. Mr. Kimura is the case of an amazing Magic card, but it has a horrific downside, right? Creatures don't trigger it. Cumulative Upkeep. Smothering Tithe. 4 mana. How many times have you cast your Smothering Tithe and someone just wins the next turn and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have tapped out for Smothering Tithe, right?
Yeah.
Like there's downsides to that, right? So that's why I'm more of the camp of ban Tymna, but that's a whole, I'm going to do a whole PowerPoint on that, right? But then you ban Tymna, and then Rog and Thrasios are the best thing to do. Then you've banned Tymna, Thrasios, then Rog, then it's a fast meta. Like, I like thinking about things of pros and cons. That's literally what I've been doing the last 2 years, and that's been helping me. Because I used to be a part of that problem. Oh, the ban happened? Oh my God, get your pitchforks out. This is going to be the end of the world. A week later, I was like, this is fucking fun.
Yeah.
After the initial hit, the next 2 weeks were like, oh shit, like you can brew. Like I'm a brewer. I like brewing more than I like playing. I was just like, we can do different things. Like Tymna Thrasios, that wasn't even a deck. People dust that shit off the shelf, and then they played it, and then I was like, oh my God, that deck's good again, right? Anyways, we can talk about the bans later. So Blue Farm. I've asked the last 3 people that have been on.
Yeah.
Mr. Blue Farm player. How the fuck do we stop Blue Farm? What world is it not the best deck? Right? Like, Kitten's getting there, then Rockthrast does things, and then Nadu was the best deck for 3 months, and then Rockside was the deck for a month. But the last 5 years, it has been the undisputed champion. Why is it so good? How do we stop it? Do you think this is going to be the best deck forever?
Oh, yeah. Good question, dude. The first thing is maybe we don't ban Nadu. You know, maybe we let Nadu and Blue Farm have a little fight and not just let Blue Farm be the best deck. Maybe we don't ban Dockside. You know, maybe we let some explosive decks be able to combat Blue Farm. Like Rogsai, for a while there, was better than Blue Farm.
The last Invitational. Numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it ran over the Invitational,
Yeah. So anyway, I'm of the opinion that there needs to be less bannings and more unbannings. I think if we unban more stuff, there's a possibility that some things settle themselves out. Like I want to be playing broken cards. I'm playing this format because I want to play the most broken shit, not because I want to ban stuff that is hard to deal with or powerful. Stopping Blue Farm, in my opinion, is really just about looking at the other viable strategies. Rog Thras is a great example of a deck that popped up out of fucking nowhere and was like, I can be a top tier deck. Nadu, same exact thing. Kinnan, same exact thing. The downside with all these decks is that they have bad matchups. And Blue Farm, in my opinion, has no bad matchups. There's matchups that are better.
I think it has one bad matchup.
Okay. What is it?
Stacks. Winota reeked on fucking Blue Farm. Blue Farm couldn't stand to see a fucking Winota deck, right? And then they printed Bowmasters. And then Blue Farm's like, thanks. So buy stacks, see you later. But again, that was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Ever since then, like, you played 2 years, like you said, Mox Masters. Me too. That was my first tournament. I played Mox Masters, I believe, December and then February, and I lost both my winning ends. I was on Tivit. We might have played each other. Anyways.
We definitely might have.
You always been Snack, right?
Yeah.
I'm like I have a decent memory, I'm fairly sure. But that was 2 years ago. But that was like Winota was a top 5 deck and Blue Farm was still the best deck. But I felt like with the Dockside and the pre-ban, wasn't it closer?
Right? I thought it was close. Yeah.
Like even before Kinnan was like a top deck. Like Rocco was a top 10 deck. Winota, this is before cedh. What was the other? I'm trying to think of the other types. Rockside was a top deck. There's another one I can't think
Thrasios, of. Bruce Thras.
Thrasios, Bruce. Tivit, when Tivit started coming in.
Tivit was super good.
That was like instant. Holy shit. That's when we had the control, the stacks, the mid range, and we had a little bit of turbo. Remember Rog's Eye was the only turbo deck?
Yeah.
That was the only turbo deck.
Totally.
Like, it's crazy. Yep. And then Time wreaked havoc, won 2 months in a row with 2 different pilots, right? Like, that's when the meta... I'm not going to say it was better, because Dockside Mana Crypt obviously busted cards, but I felt like it was more balanced. Now I feel like we're way off the rails. So let's kind of talk about the banning, unbanning. So I feel like they just unbanned, right? three. We'll ignore Nadu. 3 powerhouses in this format, and they unbanned a good card and other unplayable cards. So I agree with you a little bit, but I do still think we haven't been focused on yet. I don't think this is like the perfect ban list. I definitely still think there could be cards that we should look at least to ban. Right? Like, I definitely think there's a few cards that were mistakes, like Dockside, Ristic, Orcish, blah, 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 blah. But I definitely think we should get looked at. Nope, we're only unbanning cards. I feel like it should be a thing where, you know how when they banned, was it last February, they wrote in the blog, hey, we're looking at this card, this card, this card, this card. This is why we're looking at this card. This is why like, I think unbanning a primetime could be cool. Yeah, right? Agreed. But, like, I don't think we're perfect. Like, the card pool is perfect. Like, there's obviously problems, right?
What is the point of banning a card? I'll just ask you simply, like, super concisely, what's the point of banning a card?
So here's the other problem I was just about to say, right? Besides the last banning, this is a casual format. This is Commander, right? So they're banning and unbanning for Commander. And then the whole Dockside thing was a whole deal, right? So when you do that, now it becomes, okay, cool. Like, they print cards for Commander, and then sometimes we get a cedh card, right? Yep. So if we truly want them to ban and unban for cedh, wouldn't we have to be our own format, right? So Ristic Study, right? Ristic Study is a broken magic card. There's no downside. Commander players, it's just a Ristic Study. Who cares? Because that guy draws cards. It doesn't matter unless he's a spike. This is precon. Who cares that he's drawing a bunch of cards? There's no really big combos, right? But in cedh, it's like, oh my God, get that shit card out of here. So I feel like there's a big difference. So if you're trying to balance Commander to cedh, we're talking about 2 different formats. You ever bring your cedh deck to a Commander pod? You ever bring your casual deck to a cedh pod? It's like English, Japanese. That's what I'm saying. So when you ask the question, why ban a card? Well, casual players ban it when it's toxic, right? Like Braids, like that crazy, the blue card where bounce every permanent or whatever it was, like 6 mana bounce everything. Whatever that card is. No, it's a blue. No, it bounces everything.
I don't know. I don't play casual. I've never played casual.
No, it's a ban card. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. It was banned because of casual. It's like 6 or 8 mana, I think, upheaval or something, where it's like bounce everything. So what sucks is, what was I saying? Fuck.
cedh versus casual banning.
Sorry, it's Monday.
Why we're banning cards.
It's Monday. Yeah. So like Braids, them unbanning Braids was completely fine. Like you could breed Braids back. It's only banned because it's unfun. There's plenty of unfun cards in cedh. Drannith, who the fuck wants to play against a Drannith? But we don't care. So now them installing the brackets. So now what they could do is go, hey, we're going to ban this for bracket 1 through 4, but not ban it for bracket 5. We can unban this for 1 through 4, not for, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they could do something like that. I feel like Prime Time could easily come in cedh, and let's see what it does. Prime Time and Casual is a broken card. Like, it's just not a fun card to play against because it's crazy. But in cedh, we're going to clone it. We're going to do this. We already have a land deck. Where the fuck did Gaia's Cradle come from? I feel like Gaia's Cradle's a new card. You know what I'm saying?
Black.
12 months ago, Gaia's Cradle was a really, really good card. It was one of the best cards in Tymna Thrasios. And then now it's one of the best cards in the cedh. Right? So I feel like So when you look at it, okay, is Prime Time better than Gaia's Cradle? Is Prime Time better than Ristic Study? Is Prime Time... So once you start asking that question, no, it's not. So then you could bring cards. But casual players aren't going to want to see a Prime Time. Right? We don't want a Ristic Study, but they don't care for it. So if they do that, that's where... So let's kind of talk about it. Is there a card you would unban right now?
All of them.
We don't want to play that format.
I don't know, dude.
Have you seen NBL gameplay, bro?
Yeah, I hear you.
Turn Order Simulator, we don't want that at all. As a wrong side player, we don't want it.
The problem is Time Vault, right? Like, that's the most problematic ban card.
Black Lotus.
Okay, so Black Lotus, Time Vault.
The Power 9.
That's like insanely.
I'd say you can't touch the Power 9. Like, you got to keep that off forever.
So all the Moxen.
Right.
And Time Vault.
But also, like, what's the one where target player draws 3 cards?
Ancestral Recall.
Think about it, right? What's the
One
best?
mana?
What's the best win con in this format? Like 2 blue
Unreal
mana.
pitch.
Well, that
Yeah.
you need
Thassa's
setup.
Oracle for sure. Yeah.
You need setup for that. Just I have
Yeah.
3 mana. I win the game with no setup. What does Ancestral Recall stop? I got a response to your ETB. I'm just saying. I know it's not
I would
going to
love
work.
Ancestral Recall. I don't think that's too broken.
Probably is. Let's be honest. 1 for 3. Brainstorm exists. It's probably not going to be used defensively, but that's cards I feel like we could at least try if it's just for us, right? Who cares? Or if Wizards takes over, no more proxies. Okay, if we're not doing any more proxies, then you probably don't need a ban list. Who the fuck is playing with a $30,000 Black Lotus to do a tournament? Right? But then it's pay to play. And I don't think we don't want that. I don't want that personally.
I don't want that. Yeah. So for me, I think the idea of bannings and unbannings should be intentional and thought of and probably done by people who have a lot more awareness than I do. My perspective is that of a tournament player. And what I would say is like cards like Ristic Study do create play patterns where there's these giant stacks and games get pushed till the end of the game. And then there's a flash speed battle that occurs. And that is not necessarily the most fun thing for people. Like where there's a billion triggers. I had a game today where it was like I had a Ristic Study, a Mystic Remora, and a Fairy Mastermind, and someone cast a Lotus Petal, and I had Ristic, Fish trigger. I drew 2 cards. Someone else's Fairy trigger. They drew from my drawing 2 cards. My Fairy triggered. I draw from them drawing their 2 cards. It's just like all these triggers, all the things that get added into it can make an unfun play experience.
And then I'll respond I play with Freedom Waffle. I'll respond to your draw trigger on the stack. I'm going to do this. I'm respond to your draw trigger. So it's like, oh god,
it gets extremely
that's
complex.
why VV's broken. Like I played Control VV, and I couldn't wait for somebody to respond to what I'm doing. Because after you resolve a curiosity, you have 20 counter spells in your hand, and you're like, cool. Can you please cast something so I can draw more cards because I have counter spells in my hand? Darn, I have all these triggers now. Rats, right?
Yeah.
VV has no card draw, but Curiosity Effect or Ristic Study, VV wins the game, right? Like, is that what we want? So. Yeah. I'm totally with you. That's kind of what I like about it is I wish they would do that with the yapping and the lying. Is they're actually doing something right with the bannings. Yeah. Right. So do you think to come back a little bit? I'm just yapping, but about the changes and about the yap and about the gray areas. Yeah. Do you think there could be a circuit? Like say Fishbowl has a circuit. Right? Say all the big tournaments, all the 10, 15, 20Ks were all not the same company, but they're all together. You know how Lango was like, hey, Wounded cheated or whatever. We think he cheated, yada, yada, yada. That whole thing, right? So now they're like, he can't play in Lango events. Yeah. Right? So do we think if 3 or 4, what's Excalibur, Lango, Fishbowl, if all the big ones band together and we kind of made it our own circuit where we do make all the rules, right? So you're saying everyone thinks he cheated, which I don't think he did, but that's for another day. Everyone thinks he cheated. He can't go to a Lango event, but he can go to Fishbowl. If he's an actual real cheater, like what are we talking about? So I feel like once we implement rules and we all agree on Lango's or whoever's rules, and then we can go from there. Hey, if you make a shady deal, if you if you lie by omission, whatever it is, you're going to get a penalty. Or my friend Rob was like, you know how on Top Deck it says cheater next to it? What if it says liar? What if it says scummy player next to it? But I'm like, that wouldn't work because it would have to be a whole circuit deal. So maybe, what do you think? Maybe something like that could happen, but it's so far-fetched, right?
I think you have to be extremely careful when we talk about this kind of stuff because cheating, there's a judge there. Whether I don't really want to talk about the recent cheating scenarios because I don't have perspective. I was not there. Right. I don't know what happened. I agree. But that's just a judge DQing a player. Generally, that is just a fact. They were DQ'd, right? Or in scenarios like Pro Tour, like they cheated. It's just a fact. They cheated. Yeah. When it comes to lying and scummy deals, this is all hearsay. There's some games where it's recorded, where it's like, oh damn, that dude just totally angle shot everyone, or he straight up lied, like he was like, yeah, handshake. Like I've been in tournaments where someone has had handshake deals You know, they're like, I'm not going to win the game. And then they just, boom, win the game. Like, that's just a blatant lie. You know, and those scenarios, then it's like, well, maybe we do have a liar tag attached. But
Would that
I don't know
solve
how
something, though?
Huh?
Would that solve something? I feel like that would be more flack in the internet.
I agree. I think the way to solve this is by having discourse and conversation about it. And the people that are doing these things can hear other people's perspectives. And they can know that stuff like that is not socially, like, it's not looked well upon, you know? It's they know that their actions will have social consequences.
We need to hold them accountable.
Yeah, we do. And that comes to everybody. That's like, if you're in a local environment where someone is lying or angle shooting, have a conversation with them and just say, hey, dude, like, you doing this is making this an unfun play experience. At the end of the day, you can have a human-to-human connection. And if they're resistant to that and they're like, I don't care, like, I'm going to do it anyways, that's when you can have a conversation with maybe the rest of your scene and be like, hey, this dude's doing this. You know, there's nothing, he's not doing anything against the rules. But when you're in a game with them, you should know that this is how they're going to play. And in that aspect, I do see it being somewhat beneficial to talk about this idea of like, I don't know if it's a database or something. It gives me like witch hunt vibes when we talk about this kind of thing. And I don't want people to get witch hunted. I don't want people to, you know, like say, oh, this person lied, and then boom, you got a tag next to your name that says you're a liar.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, what? Like,
yeah.
Well, how do I
know what you're talking about?
Yeah,
right?
Then it's not going to make it fun, right? And then it's going to be.
I don't have a good solution. I think having conversations, like I said, is the biggest thing, and unfortunately, it's not a great solution. But it is something that develops the idea of it more and makes it more of like a social zeitgeist where we're all in agreement that like we're not going to do this shitty deals. We're not going to lie to each other. Right. You know, because we want to play in a way that's honorable.
And I feel like we could do that in our local meta, our LGS, maybe smaller tournaments. But when it comes to those 10Ks, those 20Ks, bro, you know how many people I've never played against? Yeah. We're strangers. Yeah. Right? I don't know if he's going to hold up to it. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a good player. So that's kind of where it goes. And also, what we don't want to happen, like, it's kind of the last thing I'm going to talk about, really. It's kind of what I did, is we don't want people to be like, you know what? We're just going to play turbo. Where we take away, there's no more deals, counter it. I know you have a force will, I have a turn 2 Nas, counter it, call their bluff. And then we start king making. And then we start, hey, you know I'm going to king make him. I'm going to call you. I'm going to cast his force will. Do it. Zach wins, and now it's a feel bad. Like, there's going to be a lot of that happening. It's going to be a lot of, okay, well, we don't want to play Blue Farm anymore because Blue Farm's the king of politics. No offense to you, but
for sure.
A lot of scummy players are on Blue Farm and on Cradle decks. Like, because those decks are so, like, I sit back and I do my busted thing and I draw cards and I have 4,000 mana. What I hate, Thrasios decks go, look at my hand, I'm not doing anything. It's just Gaia's Cradle. Bro, you have a training grounds. You're about to have 20 Thrasios activations. Right you didn't lie. No, that wasn't really scummy, but it's like, I sniffed it out. I call the bullshit, but there's nothing I can do about it. Right? So now we're playing for draws in games that aren't even in tournaments. Like, I don't want that. I only want to draw for in a tournament. I don't want to practice draws. Okay, I guess if there's a timer, we're practicing for tournaments. But now it's to the point, like, for my local meta, unless we get shit going, I don't want to play anymore because it's just comes so... Like, every Tuesday we play, last Tuesday, for 10 minutes, my brother and this other guy argued. For 10 minutes. Oh, I didn't say it resolved. It did resolve. And they start raising their voices and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing? We're about to play hacky sack. We're going to get some food. Let's go to Hooters and get some chicken wings. We're arguing about this stupid cardboard game. We're not even in a tournament. I don't want to get to that toxicity. But I do agree, and if anybody's listening to this, I want them to take it from you, is let's talk about it. If it's a feel bad and it happens in the tournament, pull them to the side. Hey, man, sorry for getting angry. Sorry for saying you're a liar. Sorry for blah, 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 blah. How can we go about it? But also there's going to be those people that are like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I don't care. I'll take my money now. Like,
yeah. And what you do in those scenarios, like, let's say you're in a scenario where you're in a game where someone blatantly lies. Like, that's the easiest, like, way to talk about this, and there's other ways to go.
I'm not going to win. Let the Grand Abolisher resolve. Okay. Underwear
I'm going to win. And then you're like,
underwear breach on the stack.
So
how do you not fight? How do you not get pissed? Yeah.
Well,
good.
That's when you're saying, okay, I'm first of all going to be like, so you lied. And they're going to say either yes or no there. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll be like, no, I didn't. Like, you misunderstood what I was saying. The other people at the table, you have 3. It's a 3 versus 1 at that point. Like, you could be either right or wrong. Let's say that they do lie. They say, yeah, I lied. That's how I play the game. The only thing you can do is just be honest with them and be like, hey, you can do that. It's part of the rules. I do want you to know that I will be talking to the people I know and just letting them know that you lied in our game. And the other 2 people in the game are probably also going to be telling their friends the same thing. And that will spread. It's not meant to demonize you or to witch hunt you. It's just so that other people have this information so that when they play with you, they're not caught in this scenario like we were.
But you and I both know this format. Yeah, but we know this format. He's going to get demonized. He's going to go on Twitter. Discords are going to hate him out, just like Wounded Satellite, just like somebody they don't like, just like Bad Dog. They're going to be like, you're a liar, and your mother's a whore, and you shouldn't play Magic anymore. It's like, bro, I lied in a tournament. Like, get off me, right? I'm not a fucking witch, right? So that's what I'm saying is you respectfully can do that, and it sounds good. But the heat of a moment, you're going to be like, fuck you, bro. Your mom's... No, I'm just kidding. But you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to tell. I know the best players in the world. I'm telling all them that you're a scumbag liar. I'm not going to say scumbag, of course. Respectfully, you're a liar. So now Ian's going to go on, talk to 20,000 people, be like, yeah, guys, I lost my Final Four because Zach's a liar. Now they're going to go on Twitter. I can't believe we play this format anymore. CDH is for cheating. Blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be positive. I promise you. Especially not at first, right? It's not going to be like, oh, he made a mistake, let's forgive him. No, it's... Remember that Temujin guy? I heard he was a great guy, but he cheated. So now he can't do anything, even though he's a good player. He can't do anything anymore because he's a cheater, right? So it's...
But it's like, I don't have a better solution other than to respectfully in-game just be like, hey, I don't believe that, you should be playing this way. And since we are in a social format... I have to let the people I know who might play you that you're probably going to lie in game with them.
Yeah.
And for some people like that have platforms, they might tell their whole follower base, and I think it's about how you frame that message. Like how I said it is like, this is not meant to witch hunt you. This is not meant to demonize you. I just want people to have accurate information. I don't believe in how you played, but at the end of the day, you didn't break the rules. You didn't cheat. So you have the prerogative to do that. Right. And I think, for people like us who do have platforms, it's important when we talk about this kind of thing to make it clear that this is not a bad person. This is not someone that should be fucking like hunted down and told that they're a shitty person. They made a decision in a game that we're all choosing to play for fun, and that people should have information about the decision they made and the way they play. It's not it's not like this you lied bad person thing. It's this person might lie in games. Be aware of that. Right. The other thing that I do want to touch on that's super important and that I think is something we should be aware of is Logan Doan of Critical EDH talked about the situation where you just shouldn't put yourself in situations where getting lied to is going to lose you the game. Don't let yourself be put in that scenario.
It's easy to say that, but yeah.
But just
if you go silence and he goes, take the silence off the stack, I'm not winning, save it for Roxai. Okay, that's a good deal. Cool. And then he wins.
So, like, what's the situation? I have a Grand Abolisher on the stack. I'm saying, I promise I won't win. Like, don't use your silence, right?
I have a Demonic Tutor. Are you pushing the Demonic Tutor? I have the silence. Nope, not pushing. Save it for the guy next to me. Okay, sounds good. That's the easy, basic deal. It's turn 3. And then he goes Underworld Breach. And then you have Egg
Then
in
you
your
cast
face.
silence.
Yeah, I guess. Well, then he tutored for the counterspell, right? Like, there's...
Sure.
I see what you're saying.
If someone is putting a Grand Abolisher on the stack, they're probably winning the game.
I guess also you could be like, hey, can you take, before you pay for it, can you take it off the stack? Yeah. Bad. No. Bad. Yeah. Don't do that. Right. Yeah.
You can counter with, if you cast an Abolisher, I am silencing you. Instead of, are you going to win if I don't silence you? Just be like, if that goes on the stack, you're getting silenced.
I'm showing you silence. Are we taking Grand Abolisher off?
Exactly. And there's scenarios where like there's already Abolishers in place, or there's Ranger Captains on the board, or Voice of Victories have stuck early, and it's like, it's not easy. These are contextual situations. It's not a black and white answer. Like, I'm not just saying don't put yourself in situations where you're going to get lied to and lose. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. But try and keep that in mind in game, where you're not letting people do whatever the fuck they want, until it's winning the game, because that's where situations happen where people will lie.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. So I feel like whole part of that segues into Why is it a draw meta? Is it just because of Born Upon a Win and Rhystic Study? Do you think if we ban Rhystic Study, Orcish, and Born Upon Win like everybody's talking, you think that would be healthier and maybe taking out the draws where people? One thing I miss about Dockside is people are winning more, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Dockside won the game. There is no politics. Dockside's for 7. What you got?
Yep.
Right?
Agreed.
So is that where we're at? Is to fix this, let's not ban Thoracle, let's not ban Breach, let's ban the toxic cards and just put more wins on the stack. But then I think we're going to go more to turbo meta, right?
I think people have developed politically. They become better political players. The overall level of politics has just risen. And a natural consequence of that is that people are looking at their one piece of interaction in their hand, and they're not saying, "Oh, there's a win on the stack. I'm stopping this." Right?
Yeah. Just saying.
Oh, the next person is also going to try and win.
Yeah.
And people were not utilizing draws, I believe, to their full capacity. Being able to draw has always been a thing, but top players have started to use it as a mechanic and a way to get to games in a scenario where I'm a bit behind. I don't have a good chance of winning. I'm going to draw this game. I absolutely do this.
Yeah.
I utilize this mechanic because it's the highest EV to play, right?
Yeah. Right.
So
in tournaments.
Yeah, in tournaments. One thing, you don't have to take every draw that's offered to you. Be aware of situations where you might be at a slight disadvantage, or let's say like a scenario of, someone's pushing and you have one piece of interaction and they might get there, they might not get there. Like, you can sometimes fight through situations which feel like 3v1s that you're going to draw. So being okay with losing a game if you have a chance of getting there and winning can sometimes be the correct thing to do. The other thing about the you're gonna say?
I'm with you. No, I'm totally agree.
Yeah. The other thing with the draw meta is that having more deck diversity helps us a ton. Like, if there is a turbo deck in the pod, and there's a mid-range deck, and there's a control deck, and there's a stacks deck, like, we get into more situations where it's not 4 blue farms playing against each other, just duking it out until time, where we either get to a draw naturally because time has been reached and everyone's cast their spells, or someone has put, like let's say Kinnon's super far ahead and someone puts a Naz on the stack and you're like, I can counter this Naz, but Kinnon has a Seedborn and they have like 15 mana and they're just going to be spinning, and I have like an Esper Sentinel, and like a Lotho out. Like, I don't see how I win this game. We've just become much better at predicting how to get to a draw state when you're not in a winning game state.
Yeah, I have a question to a top player. In those big tournaments, or generally, to the average player, they're not good at politics, or newer players. Do you need to be good at politics to win a tournament?
Depends on what deck you play. Playing a deck like a Tolly? Nope.
Yeah.
Something I've talked about.
What's a Tolly say? Don't hit me with the silence, please.
Shut up. Cast your silence. I'm not. You have to. Like you said, your friend who's like, "Oh, do I have to cast the silence in your upkeep? Are you winning?" Sometimes you gotta be like, "Dog, if you want to cast your silence, maybe."
A Tolly doesn't care.
We're all trying to win the game, right?
Yeah.
So you sometimes just need people to actually use their counter spells instead of just showing them to you and being like, "Oh, don't make me use this." Be like,
that's what I'm saying. Right.
Use it if you want to use it. Right?
That's where I'm at with Roxai. But I'm just saying, generally, some people, like my friend as well, he's like, I don't feel like I should be good at politics to win a cardboard game. I want to win because of my skill. But I do feel like politics is a skill in this format. So I'm asking you, do you need maybe 10% of your game is good politics, right? I think every good player is good with politics.
I think my game is pretty reliant on good politics.
I'm
good at playing
like Freedom
mid-range.
Waffle. He has a deck built around I'm drawing cards with mana and I'm politicking my ass off. But there could be like newer players. Like my 1Ks that I throw in Central Florida literally have probably 10 of the best Florida players, and then have people that don't even know what a Thassa's Oracle is. So it's a huge swing. So when I go, hey, I have a Pact Nation, you want to draw? And they're like, what does that mean? What do you mean draw? But then there's games, the next round is like the most intense game I've ever played before. Like I played with some hitters down here. So it's just so funny. But so you think, well, say someone's not outgoing, right? Like, I'm outgoing, you're outgoing, Ian's outgoing, Freedom Awful, blah, 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 blah. But, like, say, hey, I'm not outgoing at all, so they only can play Turbo decks then? They can only play a Tali? Like, what if he wants to play Blue Farm, and he just doesn't talk that much? Is that he's gonna have to? Is that a rock and a hard place? Is he gonna have to cross to bear?
No. And I think I was a little blunt when I said that, and I was kind of joking. I think you can play whatever deck you want, and you should play as it fits your personality. Some people are not super talkative people, but they're really smart, and they want to, speak when it's really key, but not yap the whole game. And I think you absolutely can play that way. One of the a player who I haven't gotten to play with, but who I've heard a lot about, his name is Tino. He's from the UK. He's won the UK championship and then another big tournament on Kinnan. Mm-hmm. And from what I've heard, he's not a huge yapper. He kind of does his own thing. I think Max P said he kind of just fades into the background. You forget he's there.
Really?
So there's people that are having great success without yapping their butts off the whole game. Again, I don't know him. I don't know if that's completely true, but that's just from my understanding. And there's really good players I play with who are not yapping the whole game. They're talking when it's absolutely necessary, but they're backing their talking up with really strong fundamental play patterns. They're able to see where games are going, how they're going, and then usually with yapping, it's just to influence people to do what you think is the correct thing. And at the end of the day, all four of us have our own personal ideas about what the correct thing is, and it's going to be what is going to help us win the game. So if you're just kind of doing your own thing, you're not talking the whole time, there's a lot of people that are actually going to like that more than someone who's talking their ear off the whole fucking game. It can be annoying.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But it's funny if you look at other games like Among Us or Texas Hold'em, poker, those lying is a part of the game. And I don't think that's where we want to go. We don't want to be is he bluffing?
Yeah.
Right? Because this is more of a social contract we have with ourselves.
You need to have conversation. I mean, actually, I am planning to do a tournament where I have my mouth duct taped shut and I only respond with pass priority and hold priority. But I'm gonna play Rogside for that.
I'm not gonna say how the fuck is Blue Farm gonna do that? But how do you I guess hold priority? I guess you point to your cards.
No, you just put a spell on the stack, Just I'm just curious to see if it'll work.
That's gonna be weird, bro.
It's gonna be super. I think it's gonna be kind of a joke, but I think it'll be funny content.
A big tournament or just like a LGS
no, like a 60-person tournament.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't know, bro, but it
not
could
like
be
a not like.
But what if all four people do that?
Who knows?
We're just letting spells then we can do interaction based draws. You right? Yeah. There's no more of that, and that's a big part of tournaments. So
yeah, it's a joke more than it is serious. But I think what I was trying to say about this is you need to have conversation in game. That's just part of the format. You do need to talk about certain things, but you don't need to talk that much. At the end of the day, you can just put your spells on the stack.
I hate a yap fest.
Yeah.
That's why I don't play Kefka. I played 3 games of Kefka, and it's what do you got? Do you got this? Are you going to discard that? Are we going to counter it? We're going to let Kefka. What if someone clones Kefka? What if somebody... I'm like, Jesus Christ, can I cast my fucking commander, please?
Right.
Fuck that. God, it was just so annoying. I can't handle the yap. So you have to find that fine line of yapping.
Right. Look at Kellen. Look at Tim Nadargo, dude. In the primer, he says, do not play this deck if you just want to politic. This deck is about playing the game. And he's massively successful with that.
I play with him twice a week, and he's so funny.
He's hilarious. I fucking love him.
Someone goes silence. He goes, okay, silence, pass.
Yeah. Cool.
He's going to punt games for that, but it's been working. He's a great player.
Yeah. And so I would say look at the people who are doing it successfully on non-mainstream decks. I want to play other decks. And the thing is, I don't hate playing Blue Farm. That's a little bit of a hyperbole. Sometimes it can be a little boring.
Let's talk about it. I would love to talk about that because I actually just jumped ship, not to Blue Farm, to Rogside. Mm-hmm. So, okay, deck's boring. Whatever. You can concede it's boring. Winning's not boring, guys. Winning the Invitational, I promise you, was not boring a little bit. Right? Yeah. Pretty fucking cool. I want to hang out with this guy now. You just put your channel on the map. That wasn't boring. So what's the difference? So, okay, just a little bit about me. I'm the Tevish guy, right?
Please, yeah.
I played every Tevish deck. Tevish Grom's my main deck. Jewel Lotus Bands killed that deck. So then I played this deck, then I played that deck, then I played this deck. Ooh, Green Goblin. Went 0-4 my own tournament, Green Goblin. Fuck, because I'm a Grixis player at heart. All right, cool. Sleeve up Kefka. 1 and 2 with Kefka. All right, what am I doing? Right? I have Najeela, Creature Tribal, and Theta Adele, and Semi-Blue, and all these crazy decks. You know what? I'm tired of losing. I want to win. Mm-hmm. So I've sleeved up Roxai. I'm like 20 and 5.
Yep.
Like, I am just winning with Roxai, and it feels so good. And people are like, oh, you're just Roxai. You're just this. Hey, I've only had one gas hand. Like, let me just tell you my top 16 match real quick of the free 1K please. In Tampa. Real quick. Literally, Roxai on the play. My buddy Max on cedh. I'm third. Random Timdo Dargo mid-range players on fourth, right? Roxai goes, Jaxi Probe me, Imperial Seal pass. I show a turn 3 Thoracle win. I go, rip a Ragavan, land Ragavan. He goes, Necropotence for 20, pass. He had to get rid of his Rog, so he had no free interaction. Mm-hmm. I go, cool. Land, swing a Ragavan, fast as Oracle. And they go, oh shit, we don't have any interaction. I was like, sweet, GG's. Good game. It's just that easy. I didn't do anything. And I only did that because he had obviously win with Necro. Like, so I felt like my other decks, like Green Goblin and all those other crazy Grixis decks, it's like, if you just want to win, you should definitely play a top 10, top 15 deck. Also, let's flip it, right? These crazy decks, like Atali, this is the best Atali's ever been. Rocco smacking a tournament. Random Marnius win. If you look at top deck 16, which we can if we wanted to, like random decks win all the time. Yeah. Right? So the consensus of only play Roxai and Blue Farm are wrong. But
absolutely.
So that's why I want to talk to you, right? You're a good player. You like Rogue Thrash. You like Timna Dargo. Blue Farm's boring. But like at the end of the day, people are going to play the best thing, right? But you as a Blue Farm player that just played in a top 4 of 4 Blue Farms, you don't want it to be a Blue Farm meta, do you? You like the diversity, right?
Of course. I love playing against different decks. I love being able to try other decks. Like I play a ton of different decks. My Mox Field, I probably have 100 plus decks.
Really, me too.
Put together. Yeah. Like I'm brewing all the time. I'm talking to Holden Pryo about whatever mad scientist deck he's putting together. I love to play test his decks because he's one of the best brewers I know.
If you like Mardu, me, my buddy, and Kellen are brewing up a deck. I'll tell you off air.
Okay, I'm excited. Would love to play it.
We're cooking.
Yeah.
Just saying, we're cooking. It may not have a Tevish in the command zone. Anyways, carry on.
Okay. Tevish in the command zone?
If you like Obliterate and Bola Citadel. Anyways, go ahead. Carry on.
Sick. I do like those cards. But no, I don't want everyone to play Blue Farm. And to be honest, like if we look at cedh's meta versus something like Standard has I think it's like 40 to 60% people are playing like VV Cauldron.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We have
Manguchi just 7-0 to tournament with it.
Yeah.
The best player in the
What do we have? Like 15 to 20% on Blue Farm? The meta?
I'd say
what's the meta share?
Yeah.
You can look it up. You can look up on EDH top 16 like in the last 6 months. Popularity, Blue Farm has a meta share of under 10%. With 20 plus entries, 60
but
plus
also
size.
cedh isn't even a format, right?
Yeah. But
so I do want to.
It's
good.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a format, right? Like we're having 20Ks.
So. That's what I'm saying compared to Standard, right? It's not even like the same thing, but it's one of the most popular already. But I do want to say before we get off of Blue Farm. So Blue Farm's originally the best mid-range deck because it could adapt to everything. Temna, Delny, Orcish, blah, 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 blah. Well, now I'm starting to see a lot of Grixis Blue Farm.
Yeah.
Is that what you're on? Do you think that's a better version? Do you think there's 2 or 3, 4 different Blue Farm archetypes now? Because it is cooking. I don't know if it's better, but it is cooking.
I think that there is a lot of change in the Blue Farm archetypes because the meta is a lot faster. And that's, again, just hearsay. Like, people on YouTube are like, oh, the meta's fat. Everyone's turbo. Like,
right.
That's true to some degree, right? Like, the Open was 4 turbo decks in the finals.
Yeah.
Hard to argue with that. And I think people are also a little sick of Blue Farm and losing to Blue Farm. And so a natural conclusion they draw is, well, I'm going to go faster and I'm going to win before you, right? So Blue Farm counters back with, well, we'll go just as fast, right? Like at the end of the day, we're a Grixis deck. We may not have Rograk in the command zone, but I can still win on turns 2 and turn 3 pretty consistently.
My buddy Landon's CMC in Blue Farm is a 1.28. And my Roxai list is like a 1.31.
Yep.
What?
Yep. I find when I mulligan Roxai, I'm like, my Nazes are worse than they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to cut some cards. I cut my break trap from my Roxai list. Like, the one I picked up from my buddy Derek was like a 1.36, 1.37. And he's like, yeah, sometimes you whiff. I'm like, no, we're not playing the fastest deck in the format to whiff ever.
No.
Right? But
your plan is win quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or lose.
So good.
But to be honest, like I do think that although Blue Farm at times can have boring play patterns where it's like, oh, resolve a turn 2 Rhystic Study, right? Like, again, that's also gives you the most amount of decisions. Like, if you resolve an early Rhystic Study, you go into your turn with a ton of cards in hand and a lot of choices. Sometimes those choices are Cavern of Souls, Grand Abolisher, and you just win the easy way. But a lot of times it's more nuanced. Just like Roxai, these Stormlines that come from boring initial play patterns like a Naz or a Necro become complex and unique. And so you have to work these puzzles out just like you do in any other deck. With Blue Farm, though, you also have to add politics into the equation and figure out when to interact with other people, when to pull the button on yourself.
Yeah,
like,
a post Naz is like a high for me. Like figuring out that line and instant speed on an instep of Necro. It's not Roxai isn't easy to pilot. Blue Farm isn't easy to pilot if you're playing that variant. Yes. But also, you don't know a rush until you go turn 1 Spider Punk, turn 2 Naz uncounterable. Like, that's a rush. Like, that's like, what do you got, bro? There's no way your board opponent went over me right now. Like, resolving your Naz and, oh, what are we getting? Like, for me, that's a rush and that's not boring. But it's that fun. Post of, fuck, I need 1 more mana. And blah, 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 blah. So, with saying Blue Farm is playing Grixis now, do you think this meta is going faster? You think for now? Like, what do you think? Is Blue Farm in a good spot? Are you changing anything? Like, what is your plan going forward? You still on the big Blue Farm?
You know, I've not, to be honest, I've not had a lot of time to test other decks, which is unfortunate.
It's fine.
And it's been great. Like, being able to do content and coaching has been awesome. But it also just means I don't have as much time to play, like, and test and do just, like, for fun magic. So Blue Farm's the deck I feel the most comfortable on. And it's a deck that I believe to be the best in the meta, pretty much just based on vibes. And because everyone says it, you know. And you get the fact that you can go as fast as Roxai. You know, you can convert your Necros and Nazes. Usually, obviously, Roxai is a bit faster, but Blue Farm can go almost as quickly. Well, and you get to grind in the mid range.
Yeah, you can grind with the mid range.
Access to silence effects. Like, there's just a lot of indicators that it's a great deck.
Well, also as a player though, because now, like, obviously you won the Invitational. Is Blue Farm a crutch, do you think? Do you think Blue Farm's holding you back as a player? Like, don't you want to test yourself a little more? Like, I definitely think you could, even though Blue Farm is the best deck and you feel most comfortable, like, if when and if you could put the time in, I really think you're holding yourself back as a player. Because I bet you play a really, really good Rockfast player. You're a really good Mardu player. That's what I'm saying. Like, where is that? Like, talking to the audience, and I try to put it to the newer players in cEDH of, hey, I agree in the beginning, play the deck that you're most comfortable with. Right? But I feel like for you, like, you've reached that peak. You're here, bro. You're here. Like, you just want to stay here, or do you want to, like, push the envelope? That's what I want to do. Yeah, but you're saying you haven't justified the time yet. You want to put the time in first.
I would love to build and try new decks. Like, I would love to do that. It's really just like proxying them up, putting them together, playing them in a league. Like, this just all takes time, you know?
I got you. We're only, 2 months from the Invitational?
Yeah, just over 2 months. I think August, September, October, so just been busy, to be honest. And at Fishbowl, I scrubbed out last year super badly on Kitten, and I'd like to do better this year.
It feels bad. I get it. Are you going to Fishbowl?
Huh?
Are you going to Fishbowl?
Absolutely. I will be there.
I'm so jealous.
Are you going to Fishbowl?
Bitch, I wish. I live in Florida with 5 kids, dog. What are you talking about? What, I'm going to bring them in my suitcases? Hire tried. That's a good buddy of mine. He tried to get me over there.
Hire's fucking awesome.
He's the best.
To stand up.
I call him the Morgan Freeman of cEDH. You ever play with that guy? His politics. His politics are like, hey brother, I don't know if you should do that or not.
Yeah.
Like, are you serenading me right now? I'm doing this because of this. Because he's always teaching somebody. Well, actually, this is how the combo works. Okay, you're right. You're right. You win.
Fuck.
I'll let you win. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, he's a great example of someone who doesn't. He's not just yapping the whole game. His deck is, kin and big flips, and he's doing amazingly with it. He's winning.
Lurking
so
predators.
Much.
Yeah, get out of here, bro.
So cool. That's a fun deck. That's a deck I would totally play. If I get a copy of that deck list or put it together in paper, I think I did a little bit, but I didn't do it the whole thing. That's a deck I would love to play and put together and test with. And even though I scrubbed out on Fishbowl last time, bring it back. Ral's another deck that I've been trying out a little bit. What I really like Ral, I like the play patterns. I like that you win on turn 2 pretty consistently. What I don't like is you don't really get to play the game of cedh. You get to play the game of Ral.
Well, I feel like it's kind of like Rockside. It's the best Swiss deck. Once you start playing against the big dog, it's very glass cannony.
Yeah, they're like, no, you can't just win on turn 2.
So let's switch gears. Yeah, let's switch gears a little bit since we're already talking about it.
Yeah.
Fishbowl tournaments. Got Fishbowl this weekend. This video won't come out for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. So you're bringing Blue Farm, obviously. Do you have like a way you test for a big tournament like that? Do you have a play group? Do you guys, hey, on Saturday night we're playing for 8 hours? Kind of what's your mindset and like, kind of walk us through going to a tournament? Because spoiler alert, you're probably going to top 16 it.
What one can dream, a boy can dream. You never
Get out of here, bro. Shut the fuck. You're too humble. But also people are going to look at you like, oh, didn't you just win? It's like, no, wrong guy.
Yeah,
no,
dude.
No. Maybe you do play a different deck. That's not me.
I'll have a Kanye mask on. No one knows who I am.
Blackface? Whoa.
No,
I wouldn't do that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
That's how not to win a tournament.
True. So how I prepare for tournaments is I like to be comfortable. I'll bring a deck that I've been playing for a couple weeks, that I've gotten to test in locals, that I've gotten to test online, that I've tuned a little bit, tried different cards, swapped out new cards, brought to smaller tournaments, to see how it does. And comfortability is a big thing for me. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to play new decks. It just means that when I get a new deck, I want to be able to know how to win with it and feel super confident.
You want a demonic tutor and not know what you're tutoring for.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get it. What am I getting in this situation? Let me see. You want to be like, I know exactly what I'm getting. This is my line. Demonic tutor.
Yeah. So comfortability is huge. Testing, getting a lot of reps over a longer period of time, like I'd say 3 to 4 weeks with a deck before you bring it to a big tournament, makes it so that tournament is not so stressful. Like I wrestled all through high school, and my coach was like, you will never be in more pain than you are in practice. You will never be in this much pain in a match. And
so matches are easier. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So practice like you play. And you were talking about like, oh, I don't like to do draws in casual games, right? Mm-hmm. I do draws all the time.
Well, no. We do, but my friends were saying with the whole timer thing, they don't want to play with the timer. They want to hang out with the boys and play, but they still want to do interaction-based draws. And I was like, if there's no timer, I'm not doing that. That's our disconnect. I love playing with the timer, interaction-based draws. We're playing a tournament this Saturday. I love that mindset. Yeah. Right. So is that what you guys do?
I mean, we always play with timers just because.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, the people I play test with all made the invitational. Like they're really good players.
Sorry, I got scrubbed for friends. Sorry.
I got super lucky. These are iron sharpens iron, but
100%.
Yeah, so we generally will play with timers, and we'll play like we're in a tournament setting. So every game I play, I practice like this is the invitational. Like I want to be right there, locked in the same way I was in Pittsburgh.
I like that.
And the other big thing is like being comfortable physically. Like when you go to big tournaments or even any tournament, try and get enough sleep. Like the simple things, get enough sleep. Make sure you bring water. If you eat normally at a certain time or like a certain food, don't try and shift that on the day of. It's going to just fuck you over.
Don't have 4 monsters in the morning.
I'm a big fan of like caffeine or stimulants in the morning. That helps me get through to the end of the day. And then after the tournament, go and have like a big dinner with all your friends. Like that's a great, super awesome way to do it. The other thing I would say is being like, I'm trying to think about how to say this. being aware of the meta. That's what I would like to talk about. So if there's decks you don't understand how they work, like, I don't know how Raul wins the game. It's a good thing to look up on YouTube. There's a lot of resources. cedh, how does that work? Contextualize, how the meta is going to work into your deck, and then being like, all right, when I'm goldfishing, at home, or when I'm playing, I'm keeping hands based on not only is this a good hand for my deck, but is this a good hand in a specific pod with a specific turn order. I'm seat 3. There's Kinnan, Kefka, me on blue farm, and Roxai in 4th seat. Is this a good hand in that specific scenario? Not just is this a good blue farm hand, like in any.
Yeah, but like you just went to Steel City, right? Or are you still doing that even though you just won that? You just play with those players. 2 months later, are you still doing that? Or are you like, I know what the meta is. I'm on blue farm, obviously. I know what my cards are. But you still got to sharpen the.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, like Steel City winning the Invitational was amazing. Like it was a really phenomenal moment, but it was not a goal. It was a milestone. It was kind of like a short term goal where it's like the goal. It was kind of like what's the word? Like moving the yardstick, or like the goal.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the first goal, make the Invitational. The second goal, win a game at the Invitational. The third goal, top 16 the Invitational. The fourth goal, win my top 16. The fifth goal, win this top 4 pod. So it's just like progressively like working myself through scenarios like
You're
that.
making a bunch of small, big goals. Okay.
Exactly.
So what's the next goal? What's on the agenda for old Zach?
Win the Invitational again.
Yeah. So get invited back.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. Okay.
Exactly. Keep playing Magic. Enjoy the game. Try new decks. Try new strategies. Be open to the fact that Blue Farm might not be the best deck, and there's other things that I can win on. I've won a few tournaments, and most of those have been on different decks. I've won a tournament on Kinnan. I've won a tournament on Roxai. I've won a tournament on Blue Farm. I've won a tournament on Rogthrast now. So like,
really,
I definitely do like trying different decks and strategies and archetypes.
Okay, so you're not super Blue Farm's the best deck. Like,
no, dude,
you
not
understand. Okay, and that
majority of the time was not Blue Farm.
That probably makes you better for that because you can understand that deck. You know how many times someone's like, "How does Rogthrast win? Does Rogthrast win turn 2?"
Yeah.
Yes. This is how they win. Blah 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 blah. That's what I'm good at. My issue is I can't make it to a lot of tournaments, or it's a lot of smaller tournaments. That's my problem. And I agree when you said iron sharpens iron when it comes to like tournaments too. If you don't play in them for months on end, like it's been over a year since I played into a big tournament.
Yeah.
And that's, I felt myself 2 tournaments ago. I was rusty.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, instead of doing this, I could have done that. Instead of doing this, like you can feel it for sure. But so you're saying going forward, you're in the grind. Are you traveling for tournaments like outside of California? Like this
Absolutely.
is what you're doing?
If it financially makes sense.
I was going to ask you, is this your job? I assume you have a job.
I do, but like this is becoming so. I'm doing 20 plus hours a week on content and coaching, so. There's a world where this does become a full-time job.
Damn. Hell yeah, man.
Which would be great. I would love to do that, You
just got to find that threshold.
Exactly.
Because what if you go 4 tournaments without winning anything and you're like, oh, got to get a job back.
I'm washed. Yeah.
And that's the added pressure, right?
I don't ever want to have that pressure of like, I have to win this. This is my job. Like that wouldn't be great for me.
Right. That's what I was going to say. You don't want to make it a job.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to make winning tournaments a job.
That's what I mean. I
want to make providing value to people a job because
right.
That sounds great. That's not results based.
You don't want to be like, oh, I'm sick, but I have to go to this tournament because I have rent coming up.
Fuck that.
You don't want that. You want to be like, let's fucking go win a tournament.
Yeah.
Let's go have fun.
Because I want to, because I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, it's a blast. There's nothing like it. Like, people don't understand. Like, I'm a big WWE fan, and I tell people all the time, it's nothing like going to that event. It's like a concert of your favorite person. It's bigger than a football game. Being in that environment and playing Magic for 8-9 hours, and you forget about the real world. And then you're like... So, like, I'll go to the shop, right, for 6 hours, and I'll come home, and I'll be on Arena, I'll be on Moxville. My wife goes, you just played Magic for 6 hours. I could play for another 10. Like, what are you talking about? I can literally all day play Magic, like, all day. Like, like, you don't get, maybe not tournaments. Like, at the end of a tournament day, you're like, oof, right? But it's like, with friends and stuff.
Yeah. I'll start at 8 a.m. and go till midnight and do it again the next day. Like,
right.
It's such an awesome thing to be able to have where you can just love the game that much and enjoy playing. And that's really where I'm at. Like,
That's so cool.
I don't ever feel like I'm tournament grinding.
All right,
I just feel like I'm enjoying myself.
Okay, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, oh, this Saturday I have to get up at 8 and I have to host this tournament and I got to do this. No,
yeah, no.
I'm excited. But yeah. I've gotten probably 10 people in the game of cedh in the last 3-4 months that genuinely enjoy it, and that's why I play. I'm not gonna make cedh the biggest thing ever, but I've actually made a local meta in Leesburg, Florida, and you don't even know what a Leesburg, Florida is, right? But there's 30 to 40 players that every month or every other month play in this 1K because of me, because I started it, not because of me, but because
you help facilitate that.
But I'm I'm the face to do, and if I take nothing from it or if I make nothing, like I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But anyways. Going forward, we're a big fan. You got to promise us here, because it's recorded forever. If you win the fishbowl, bitch, you're coming back. Because right now it's 4 days before the fishbowl.
Yeah,
we have to. Well, obviously, you have your own shit.
Maybe you come on my podcast.
But you got to. You don't need my fucking dumb ass. Hey, let me tell you how I won on my channel, bitch. I'll just listen.
Tell me more.
Yeah, tell me more.
No,
but now
I'm super down, dude.
Was there anything else? I know we're just chit chatting and hate liars and cheaters and stuff. Was there anything else? Like maybe you wanted to share a little bit with someone watching this that maybe they're like, hey, we want to take this next step, right?
Yeah. The biggest thing is like, first of all, I really enjoy the Critical EDH League. That's where I play a lot of my online games. I'm more than happy to play with anyone on there if they're interested. But being able to play with good players online is a great first step to kind of getting that top high level gameplay. So just shout them out because I really enjoy their content and I enjoy playing games there. The next thing is feel free to watch my content if you think it's interesting. I'm happy to chat about this game. I want to provide a unique perspective. I don't think I'm right. I don't think I'm more right than anyone else.
Right. You're humble. Yeah. I'm going to put all your stuff down below.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. All your stuff's going down here. Yeah.
But it's just been a blast to do the content stuff and to be able to share this and to highlight things that, I would like to watch. So the reason I'm doing content is because I don't think there's that many channels that are talking about the, theory behind cedh. Yeah. And it's emerging.
Yeah.
But strategy and tactics are coming up.
That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of hitting it from a different angle.
That's exactly what I see.
And now I'm starting to do gameplay, so I got to get you on.
That's awesome.
And also, I got to ask one of my buddies, patron, but I don't make any money from it. He asked me to ask you, have you ever gotten mad in a cedh game? Every video of you is laughing your ass off and then go, ha 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 ha, necropotence, cool, win, cool. And they're like, is this guy like ever mad? Does anything ever get to you in a game? Do you ever get frustrated? Yeah. No way, bro.
Dude, I've been angry in games. It's
no way. There's no proof.
My anger stems usually in games when people just like don't listen to me at all. Like they just don't acknowledge that I'm talking to them. And I'm like, we're human beings. Like,
hey, chair. Hi, chair. You gonna counter the spell, chair? Yeah, I hate those guys. Yeah. Let's let the spells do the talking. We're dying. We're dead.
Yeah. Agreed. It's like we could have talked before this, but now
I just had this interaction where I was like, "Hey, cedh has win on board, guys. I got to resolve this breach to resolve this windfall. I won't win though." And they're like, "Well, what's your intentions with the windfall?" It's a fucking windfall. I don't know. I don't. How far are you gonna push? I have no idea. I'm not gonna win. But then I was like, you know what? Taking off the stack. Let's just say win because I was getting frustrated.
Yeah.
I was like,
and I get frustrated, dude. I totally do.
I know.
But at the end of the day, I just like to remind myself that it's a game. And we're all having fun. And if we're not having fun, it's probably on me. It's not on other people. It's my reaction to what they're doing. So even I definitely get mad.
Yeah. Even at the highest tables, though, like it's still fun. I feel like it's just a bunch of sweaty no-lifers, bro.
That's when it's the
Don't
most
even
fun.
Look at me.
Playing against the best players in the world is when I am having the most fun. Because I'm like, the politics changes, by the way. Like there's no explaining anything. It's
You're making arguments. We don't have to tell you that NATO's about to pop off.
Right.
We all know NATO's gonna pop off. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
that's when I have the most fun, and I like to play my practice games like I'm playing, like I said, the highest level. That's where I'm enjoying myself. And the other thing is like if you are new to the format and you're just getting into it, feel free to just like reach out and say hey, and try to do some coaching. I have a player who has never played a game of CDH before, we're doing coaching, and it's a super fun experience. Like, I'm getting to talk to him about all this stuff. He's done a lot of research, by the way.
Oh,
so
you're geeking out.
What's going on?
Like,
but yeah,
you don't know how necropotence works with silence effects?
Yeah,
let me tell you. Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm the same way. I love people go, what is a Kinnan? Is a Kinnan a good card? And I'm like, sit down, shut
Burn
up.
it with fire.
Yeah, sit down, shut up.
Yeah, prepare to have your mind blown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're just yapping and they have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah. But I've come to realize, dude, CDH is fucking complex, and there's a lot of shit that goes right over people's heads that I don't even think twice about. So it's like I'm trying to learn how to be a little more like explain things based on, people not knowing what a necro and a Nas and a pact and a fierce, like these are all nonsense words that we've made up to understand.
Right.
So it's like,
for me it's the variants.
Yeah.
That's why CDH and Vintage Cube, Power Cube are the only two formats I like, to be honest with you. And it's because the variants of CDH.
Yeah.
Like standard, VV's the best deck, and this is the best deck, and now I'm going to sideboard for you, and I'm going to blah, 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 blah. There's not one game like CDH. Like, what I mean, like, you play round 1, you play your round 2, tell me they're not opposite. And then your round 3 is a game you've never played before. Round 4, you won with Oracle. Round 5. Like, it's just so different. You can build your deck all you want, but you can't prepare for the, what if I had a Tana Pack for something, and then I got rid of Honorable Breach, and then I had to cast a Freighter's Grasp. Well, then I had to win with his VV with my Breach line, because all my other cards were gone, right? This just happened to me, and it was just so, I had a Freighter's Grasp and VV. And then I had to cast Freighter's Grasp again for his Curiosity. And then I had to figure out a way to win. And then you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's sick.
And I'll never play a game like that again, right? In Rockside. But it's, for me personally, that's what I like. But
I think CDH is great for people with ADHD.
If you can tell, I'm just listening to you like.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I got you. But yeah, we definitely got to collab again for sure.
I'd love to.
I got to get you. I'm doing some gameplay. I got to get you. I got to get you to get on.
Get all the SoCal boys in the
I'm trying. So it's so hard. It's one person's easy. 2 people's like, okay. Having 3 other people with the timing and the California would it take us 4 weeks to make this video, right? It's so hard. But I would my dream. Because I'm kind of getting away from podcasts and just yapping. I'm trying to do like other things, right? Mm-hmm. But my dream is to have like the best CDH players all in one pod.
Yeah.
And just people come in and out and just talk shit and do this and who's the best deck in the format. And there's 10 people that argue. And then Ian pops in and Max P pop in. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then you're just over there talking shit and we're just fucking off for 3 hours. But then we leave and come back. Like, I would love just to have a hodgepodge of like the best minds of CDH. Because I do know most of them. And just talking shit at the end of the day.
That'd be awesome.
And it's so funny that you say, hey, with my friends, we do draws and we do this. Every time I play with my friends, that's the idea. Then 15 minutes later, this guy resolved to silence and we're playing hacky sack. And they're like, maybe we need someone to stay back to make sure he wins or not. Well, oh, fuck, we're playing for tournament. We forgot the clock's on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're very, like, we do that. But that's about all the time we got for today.
Sweet.
I'm hungry. I got to eat some ice cream.
I'm hungry.
Dude, I'm so hungry.
Let's go get food.
Dude, I'm 250 pounds. I know you haven't seen my body, but I'm sexy. Mm-hmm. But I'm the fattest I've ever been, and all I've been thinking about was ice cream for the last 30 minutes. Nice. So you're talking about Blue Farm, and I'm thinking about Bluebell ice cream.
You're like, damn. I'm hungry, though.
I'm thinking that vanilla Bluebell ice cream. You're talking about Blue Farm. Get out of here.
Dang.
But all right, man. That's the Doom of Fools. That's Snack. All the stuff's down here. He's going to be back on. He's going to win the fishbowl real quick. We're going to talk about it. I'll probably do a breakdown so we could do like a guest. We could do a, hey, come in real quick. Mm-hmm. But hit me up if you need anything. I'll hit you up in a couple weeks, let you know when the pod comes out. I definitely want to do a gameplay video. We're going to have the battle of the content creators, right? Sweet. We're going to do that. But all right, guys, we're out. Peace.
Peace.